you don't recognize it the first time. No one sits in front of you and says, "Hey, yeah, sure, pretty woman, eat your food. I pay for it. I will be sweet as honey." But in a couple of months, I will be really mad. There are other signs. For example, I really don't like your parents. Please
Hmm.
see them less. Oh, I don't like your friends. They're really fake. Don't do that.
Thing which people say, daddy issues. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah. And like red flags, I think that it's all trauma response. So like what advice would you give to someone who is currently in an abusive relationship and is like afraid to seek help?
If you have a dream, just do it. If you're stuck somewhere, don't give up. There's always a way to go.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the show. Today we have an incredibly special guest with us. I'm thrilled to welcome Angie Raab, who you might know for her online presence and modeling fame. Welcome to the show, Angie.
Thank you for being here, inviting me over.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm very excited for the conversation today. So, to kickstart things off, Angie, can you tell us something fun about yourself that most of your followers might not know?
Sure, sure. So my name is Angie. I'm 27. I live in Munich. I'm actually from Germany, and I'm pretty known for my content. I'm a content creator. I've spread sketches and funny memes about basketball, lifestyle, and relatable content. And yeah, I take my followers with me through the day, through my travels to last time New York or Strasbourg, or like just crazy events on the BMW Park in Munich, the basketball arena, and yeah, that's me.
Awesome, awesome. That's so amazing. So, like speaking about if we talk about inspiration and stuff, I would love to hear about how you first got started in content creation. Like, what sparked your journey to be a content creator?
Actually, it started when Instagram became famous. It was like
Okay.
pretty new back in the time. And I realized pretty fast that some content creators or influencers, they had a reach. And if you have a voice and you have a message, it can be spreaded so fast. Like you can reach so many people and have a huge impact on them. And I liked it. So you actually have the easiest way and possibility to inspire people to share your story, and that's why I actually started. I wanted to inspire people, to make people laugh and have fun. So, and that's why I started it.
That's so amazing. That's so amazing. So, can you tell us also about something about your modeling career? You told that you were a model, so you are a model. So, something about that.
Oh yeah, this was crazy. When I was a teenager, I dreamed about modeling,
Oh
and
God.
I've never been brave enough to do that. Like my parents also said, "Hey, keep focus on sport and education." And my ex-boyfriend kind of pushed me in for it. And I started because of him, because he was more motivating me and, "Hey, you got this, and I help you out." And with 18, I was a model and I received bracelets, like brackets
Okay.
for the
Okay.
teeth.
Yeah.
Brackets, yeah. And it was so weird because you mean you have to put yourself in my shoes. You are 18, you're starting a model career, and then you have brackets.
Yeah.
And I
I can
was
totally
like,
understand.
yeah, that's crazy. And as that keep moving and instead being said, I said, okay, I want to see how it's possible to continue modeling with brackets. So, and I continued, and then it was crazy. I traveled around the world, and I spent like time in Mallorca too, and went to different agencies. And I think the biggest highlight was the LA Fashion Week in the
Oh,
USA. It was
nice.
really nice. So I wanted to share that everything is possible if you put the mind into it.
Right. Right. I can totally agree with you that it anything comes in your way, any hurdle or any stone, that you can just skip it out and you can just that's like a part of life. And you will be after some time you will be here and sharing some stories about oh how like I had those braces and then I did modeling something like that, so that's something incredible. That's so lovely.
Yeah. Really wanted to show this. You don't have to stop. Just keep moving forward. Nothing can stop you. And this is what I wanted to share in my story. With that.
That's so amazing. That's so amazing. Like a story with a motive. Amazing. So what's the most memorable interaction you have like had with your followers, because you travel around the world and people also know you, and you are like a content creator, you have a face and media and everything. So tell us something about like your most memorable interaction with any of your followers that you had in like in person.
That's a crazy, crazy question. I have to think about that. I think one of the craziest thing happened in France.
Okay.
I was invited from the European Parliament to visit the place and doing some content. And then a follower texted me in the morning.
Okay.
I didn't know if it's a he or her, and she was like, "Hey," um, in that moment, I didn't know it's a her, but she texted, "Hey, can we meet?" And I didn't see the profile, nothing. I was like, "I'm so sorry, yeah, I can't spend time." So, but in the afternoon, like our event ended earlier, and I arrived earlier to the central station, and I just heard randomly in France and my name screaming in the background. I'm like, "What is going on here?" And I turn around, and she was standing in front of me, and she's like, "Hi, I texted you in the morning. I wanted to meet you. This is so random." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is crazy." And we get to talk to each other, and we just decided to be together.
Oh wow.
And I think that's the craziest thing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Like, I didn't have such an experience till now because yeah, I'm growing. I'm like manifesting something happens. Okay, so like it's so fun. Like when I think about it, like people follow you in other countries as well, and you are traveling, and people are like, okay, I want to meet you. You are here and something like that. It's so good. Feels so good. Feels so special out there.
It's really nice, and I'm always happy to meet someone from social media. I network a lot, but also love to meet new people, and it happened a lot of times. For example, another time, as I had a follower in Mexico City, and I went there with my best friend, and I remembered him. I don't know why, because if you have a kind of huge reach, you
Right,
can't
right.
remember everyone. So, but I remembered him. I don't know why. And I texted him, "Hey, do you want to grab some dinner? I'm in your town."
Great.
So,
He would be so happy to listen that.
it's cool. So for everyone who's listening, and for you, keep going, keep moving forward with social media. You meet a lot of incredible people, especially if you spread a nice message. So, yeah,
Thank you so
cool.
much. Thank you so much. So, like, what advice would you give to someone who is starting off their career as an, influencer and who say that we want to be content creators? So, what advice would you give to them?
First of all, just do it. This is the biggest thing. And just do it, just start. You have no idea what to do. It's okay. Just do it. Keep posting the photo, keep posting the video, even if it's not perfect or you're overthinking it. Like this, just actually moving forward is the key.
Right.
And yeah, and in the end, I think trust the process, what my best friend said now. And then and then you just improve. You just improve step by step the video, and you get creative, you get feedback, and one other thing is don't don't overthink too much about other people's opinion. This is
Right.
like in
Right.
this last years, I never received like bad feedback from
Okay.
someone in
Amazing.
real life. So I guess, yeah.
That's like as I always say that a coin has two sides. We all know. So there, that's too with people. You will get to know, like you will get to hear hate comments about you. You will get to hear something that people are demeaning you, or maybe someone's so special, and maybe someone's appreciating you out there. Someone is so fond of you. So you'll get every type of personality over the internet because it's about people and it's about the world. So you cannot pay attention on every single one of them. So like if like you take if someone is criticizing you and you think that we can take it something like as a constructive criticism, then it's good. But if it's out of the zone, if it's out of your area, then just don't put your brain towards it. Just move where you are moving because you are doing great in life. And never concentrate on those people, because whenever if you are doing great in your life, then too they will comment. If you're not doing great, then too they will comment. So till like how many times you will listen to them. So that's what I say.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like don't listen to them at all. Like as you said, if it's a construct and factful criticism, it's okay. But if it's hate, I
Yeah,
mean, okay, it shows me more about the person than about
right,
myself that I receive hate from them. And there was a quote, I can't quote it exactly the same way it sounded like, but you never receive hate from above. It's always under you,
right,
underneath.
right.
Keep focus on the good and everything will be fine. The support, keep on the focus on the supporters. That's it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like the thing you said, that you'll get hate from people. When people will show hate, it will show that what they are as a person. It's so true because most of the people who are insecure about themselves, who want this attention, that people should comment on my things which I'm writing. So that's why they're spreading out hate just to get attention because they're so lonely in their own life. They're so insecure about their own selves that they cannot put themselves forward over something or over social media. That's why they're spreading out hate. So don't dogs bark on the street, you cannot reply to them by barking again, so you just move. That's how you can deal with them. Just ignore.
Yeah. As long as they don't pay your rent, it's okay. Okay. Let
Totally understand. Great. So today we are going to, delve into a very important and sensitive topic that affects many individuals out there. Like, that parts women and around the world abusive relationships. This is an issue that can, manifest in various forms, whether physical, emotional, psychological, or financial. And it often goes unnoticed and unspoken due to this stigma, shame, and fear. And some what people like women especially try to adjust that the other person, the my partner or someone else would change, and they just continues to stay in that relationship, so in the hope of getting that changed behavior from the partner. But if the person behaves like that, you don't need to you know put yourself out there with all the suffering. So have you or someone experienced an abusive relationship? Only if you're comfortable sharing. Like, what was the experience like?
Yeah, unfortunately, I had this experience, unfortunately, and it was what was more shocking is that there are so many other women who suffer with that. That's insane, but that's another story. Yeah, actually, I had this experience with someone who probably, as as I can tell, had a narcissism characteristic, and it was really like more emotional. It was really emotional, kind of abuse, and when you're in this kind of relationship, you don't recognize it. It's slowly. It starts slowly, and you because like you don't recognize it the first time. No one sits in front of you and says, "Hey, yeah, sure, pretty woman, eat your food, I pay for it. I will be sweet as honey, but in a couple of months, I will be really mad." No one says that. So you kind of slowing inside, and so you can't blame the victims or every other woman who is in this relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you that no one says on the first meeting, yes, I'm a narcissist. So that's something, and I think, and I'm so sorry that you have to went through all this stuff, and I cannot even relate with you, because I never had such a relationship or something like that. Well, like I never had a good relationship. Okay, yeah, that's something of the topic. Like I see that this abusive things are can be mainly about maybe about this person you love, or it can be with your wife or a husband. It can also be with your friends at times. So like slowly but slowly you get to know the person. Sometimes 1 or 2 months the person is so nice, so charming and so caring and everything out there. And you are like falling in love and you are so uh, deeply in love that you ignore all that little stuff. But with the time, that person, like, starts showing their true colors. They starts like, yeah, controlling and abusive, and which is something I guess that we should take we should always take a stand for. Like, I won't say that it's gender specific, and I would say that, either male or female, both can, suffer from this stuff. And I think it's very hard for people to talk about these things so strongly that you opened up today and you shared your own story. So I think, which is like a very big thing. Seriously, it's very big, and I'm so proud of you. And I think that people out there should not stick to it, and just not think that, yeah, the other person will change, or my friend would change, or I could give them a second chance. If
This is
people,
the thing.
yeah,
Yeah. The thing is, every seven of eight women go back to their abuser or to the toxic relationship for many reasons, because they feel like they're like dependent on them, not financially,
but
but also because of this. What you were saying, he will change or she will change. I'm sure there are also women who are abusers too. We just don't know. So both ways, it works in both ways. So, and this is a problem. This is a huge problem because people like trust them. Of course, there are also emotions, and this is the most dangerous part. If you're in a relationship, and you're already inside this relationship, you're connected with this person, you have these emotions. You can't like think logically, right? It
right,
just, but there are some signs you can take care of yourself. For example, it starts slowly with, "Oh, please don't wear that. I don't feel comfortable with that. Oh, you mind? Maybe I pay everything. Oh, you don't need this job. I got the bag for you." And it starts slowly. I mean, in some relationships and healthy relationships is fine. It's okay. You can
yeah,
do that. But then there are other signs. For example, "I really don't like your parents. Please
hmm,
see them less. Oh, I don't like your friends. They're really fake. Don't do that." And it's not like kind of this is the thing from the outside, but there are also things like signs from the inside. You're feeling confused because you're asking yourself, "Am I the problem?" If
right,
you're asking this in a really weird way, like too many times, you're not the problem here. You're just probably gaslighted from the other person and put their responsibility in your hands. And the other thing is also, I had one more thing. There's a sign. It's probably wrong, and oh, you feel really bad. Like all the time, you're feeling bad. Like you feel ashamed, and the
yeah,
fault, like you're feeling it's your fault, but it's not,
yeah,
because people like pushing through you, like you're the problem, but it's not you.
right. It's not you, it's the other person. It's so true. And people, sometimes think like that I can change the other person. I can be there, I can stay, and I can change the other person by communicating or doing my best and saying that, yeah, I don't like this. But if that person is doing that particular thing, hurting you, and that maintaining that command on you, or like shaming you, or asking you to be uh maintain a distance from your family or friends, or it's abusive on the first place. If that person is doing that in the first place, then that person can never change. He would never do that stuff unknowingly. They know that what they're doing, they are very well aware of that, and still they're not guilty, they're not ashamed, and you are not at all at fault. Don't ever think that, if I could have stayed a few days more, a few months more, I could have changed him. Or, if I could been there with him, I could be so supportive. Now, if you see like people out there see their exes, and look back and say, "Oh, I could have given him a second chance. I could have been there with him now if that person is suffering," or something like that. Bro, it's done. It's like,
It's done.
yeah, it's
It's
done.
definitely done. And it also works with friends and for family too. It's happened. It's not only the relationship, like the love relationships, it also the family. Like, for example, if they don't respect your feelings, if they don't take your dreams serious, if they humiliate you, and there are so many other things. For example, what I also didn't know. I did a lot of research after this relationship, so it never happens again because I wanted to know how it could happen, how I could fit into this relationship, how it even happened, and I even find this person attractive and let me treat it that way. So I did a lot of self work, and I can recommend that for a lot of people. But the first thing is what you have to do is please know that it's not your fault at all. It's not your fault. You couldn't know, and that's it. It's not your fault because this is what a lot of women suffer and blame themselves that they're stuck in this kind of thing. For example, if they don't allow you to be loved. If you're, for example, coming and saying, "Hey, I love you," blah blah blah, and then they're like, "No, I don't give you the hug. I don't know, not right now." Like there's different kind of abuses that you need to know, like
Yeah, yeah,
emotional and financial, and not only physical, like being hit in the face or like cut in the skin. There are so many different ways, and you have to take care of that.
yeah. I totally agree with you on that point. And sometimes, most of females stay with their friends or maybe with their partners and just um, gets used to with that stuff. They don't come out or they don't even break that thing just because they're so emotionally dependent on that person. Like, yeah, I don't know anything without them. I don't know how to manage my own emotions without them. But they are not helping you out at all. They're damaging you in every way possible. So don't, like, I always say that never give someone importance more than your own self. That you start being so dependent on them that you don't even know how to control or manage your own emotions by yourself. So it's like don't ever give someone that importance that he or she can hurt you. And the worst part, like, is that even after knowing all this stuff, even after listening and even after reading, we tend to do these mistakes again because we are so attracted, we are so in love, and we are so emotionally dependent. But all we need is, to build ourselves that much, and you need to work ourselves in every way possible.
I agree with that. There's a book I really want to recommend that. It's called Why Men Love Bitches. It's a million bestseller, especially for women. It's a book for women, and yeah, the title is a little bit controversial. No, kidding. But yeah, the book helps a lot to set the border, like to set a line for your self worth and for the rules, so you can't be played, and
Right,
you know your self esteem and your principles. And I think this is also the most important thing, to not get into this kind of relationship and what you learn afterwards. If you do all the work, you finally know your worth and you know your self esteem. You know what you are okay with, and you will never be okay with again. So as told before, I asked myself after the relationship how I could end up in this, and I figured out, okay, because I didn't love myself that way how I thought I did, but I didn't at all. And then I just did so much research how it could happen with the book. It's a German book. It's called about the Schattenkind, like das Kind in dir muss Heimat finden. It's a German physical book, but it's about your inner child, how you grew up with all these beliefs and the treatment, and on the other part, of course, friendships that you that's it's a kind of complicated topic as you can, as you can
yeah,
hear, but it's set together. It's a puzzle, and the good thing is you can change it. You can
right,
set the tone,
right,
and it's all about you, and you can back get the control.
right. Like I totally agree with you on that because people out there on the internet or everywhere around us say, I'm attracted to red flags. I don't know how, but I'm attracted to red flags.
Oh God, this is
Yeah.
so bad.
So this happens because it's your trauma response. People don't know that. It's like, maybe the thing which you said that maybe you don't love yourself that much, like and maybe don't even know yourself that much, or maybe something happened in your childhood, or you something happened while growing up, or you didn't understand yourself that much. I think these things makes you love a red flag actually because you don't know how to accept love. You're so reluctant to it. So like the thing which people say, daddy issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And like red flags, I think that it's all trauma response. And like you need to really work on yourself before committing to someone, or building some relationships, if you want like that to run a long way. If you want something to be serious and a commitment types, then you need to really work on yourself before coming into a relationship. Otherwise, yeah, you'll end up choosing a bad person, or you will end up choosing someone such a green flag that you won't be able to live with him. So
100%. I agree with that. A lot of people make jokes about the red flag thing and, oh, it's my type, ha ha ha. Yeah, okay. It's funny, but in the next time when it happens again, it wouldn't be funny anymore. And for your friends too, because they have to listen to your
right,
BS.
right,
So no, it's your responsibility, and if you know that, I think this is also the responsibility of yours to work on this. Like, if you want to be happy, you want to have your relationship, and you deserve it. That's the thing, the difference, and also really important fact. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be loved and to be treated right. And a lot of people forget that. And it also starts again with you. And what to maybe a question what to do after, for example, this kind of connection where because you kind of yeah, don't believe in that, like there's no hope, and you think, oh, okay, now I am traumatized.
right,
So the one affirmation that helped me was, you are the main character in your own life.
right, right,
And this, like, I have goosebumps. Oh my god! This affirmation was like life changing for me because I grew up all my life thinking everyone should be happy around me. It's my responsibility to make everyone happy and not me first. But this is not the case. Like, this is not. This is, I'm the main character of my life. I have to be happy first. I have to love myself first, and then it's your turn. And if you're not happy, don't blame me. Don't blame me. I
right.
respect you and I love you. And if you're not okay with that and having some issues, you have to work on yourself.
The thing which every one of us should understand, like the thing you said, it's not our task to make everyone happy, but the task of us is not to hurt someone. If you are doing that, you're okay. Just focus on yourself. Just don't hurt anyone willingly, and just focus on yourself. Don't be a people pleaser. Don't set out yourself up there, and you do not have even courage to say no to anyone out there, and you are like always running behind people's happiness. But it's you who is important. Like you said, that you are the main character of your life. Others, all others are just the side characters. So if something happened with you with some person, and no, like letting go and moving on is very difficult, because you were the one who was totally into it. We cannot say about the other one, but you were the one who were totally into it. So I would say that that was just an episode of a season, and
Hmm,
many
yeah.
would come. Yeah, and you cannot, describe over just one character. It's a different season now. Maybe someone very charming and very attractive would enter your life, who would treat you the way you wanted to be treated. So,
Yeah, agree with that. I totally agree with that. It's so important.
so like, what advice would you give to someone who is currently in an abusive relationship and is like afraid to seek help?
This is a tough one. Because I know the emotions in this
Yeah,
situation. So I would recommend for sure to reach out to people you trust. Like, you can trust them. I'm not talking about of your boyfriends or partners, girlfriends, friends
mm,
or parents or anything. Reach out to those people you had a really close connection and talk about it. Like, talk about everything. Don't change the talk. Like, if you're thinking something, just say it, and don't be afraid to about this. And yeah, I wish I could. This is like, okay. One more suggestion, but it's easy to say that, but not to actually do that, is just leave earlier and as soon as possible. um I think this is like actually the one of the hardest things to do, But if you have this room between you, you finally have kind of space and air to breathe. And you kind of can have the possibility to clean your mind.
Right.
So if you have the possibility to, I don't know, to travel away, to kind of cut the contact for a little while and reach to the people you really trust, like literally trust, and you can finally fall because you will be catched, do that and speak about it, because the worst thing is don't to talk about it. It's like you poison yourself every
Yeah.
single day and every second.
Yeah. So true. So true. So true. Like seriously. And I also wanted to ask, like, what would you say? Like people say out there that yeah, obviously when you are so into someone and so deeply in love, and you did your best and everything, and you were so fond of them, so you are like after the breakup, you're like, I would never be able to love the other person the way I love them, and maybe I would never be able to find someone who would be, like perfect for me, or who would be treating me right, or maybe I would end up being single or alone. So these thoughts occur when you just go through a breakup or something like that. And people have really difficult times moving on, and people just, drunk dial their exes, or they're just like, uh, thinking about their exes and stalking them on social media. So what do you think on that? What would you say on that?
I can relate that, and I totally understand this point, but I can quickly change the mind. The thing is, you have to be okay to not find maybe the second person. You have to be okay with that, that maybe you really never fall in love. But the thing is, still, you're the main character in your own movie, in your own life. And there are so many beautiful things out there. And you have so many amazing people around you, your family, if it's not family, friends, or other people on social media, for example. The world needs you. Just imagine the fact that you were the fastest sperm in the whole thing. You were the fastest one. And I'm also a strong believer in God. So God gave you a present, and it's called life. And
Right.
you are here for a reason, because you are loved, and because God said, "Hey, you're important. You have something to tell you important." So your life doesn't end because you didn't find a partner or have a kid or something else, whatever. The most important thing is that you are happy and make the world a little bit better every single day. And this is what matters. And everything else, like having a family and stuff and having a partner, I think this is kind of a thing that is called from the society back in the time. So there was this huge speech that went viral from this biblical college, from this kicker from the NFL. He said, "Life starts when you get a baby and are becoming a homemaker and a wife." No, it's not. You are worth it. You're more than that. You're worth more than this. And yeah, so this is what I want to give someone. I would
Like
say that to
I
someone.
like I when you were talking about these things, now just there's one line that I really love, that women out there can deliver more than just babies. So, you can do a lot of things, and the life is beyond, and, just travel the world, just explore out there, connect with your friends, have healthy conversations, and have peace in your life. It's not necessary that every day is a challenge for you. I can get it that some days are tricky and some days are, a lot of pressure on mind, but it's not necessary that happens every single day. So you need to find your own peace. You need to, and that doesn't mean that you make a person and, give a tag that, yeah, that person is my peace. It's nothing like that. You can find peace in anything. Like you can maybe listen to songs. You can enjoy it in your own self. It's better than having a toxic partner or toxic friends. So,
Maybe another thing is, if I can interrupt you, it's in the Bible. I'm sorry if I'm here with my religion, but it's also a spiritual thing here and a really important topic. But even in the Bible, it says love is peace. So if you're not in peace with your partner, and this is like the biggest sign for me, and the most important sign personally for me after that, is if you have no peace with your partner, even in the beginning, maybe this weird feeling like, oh, it's nice, but I don't feel that. I don't know. But okay. So no, it's a no. It's not peace. It's not real love, because love is peace, and this is how you also can know that.
Right, right. I totally agree with you. That if you are not finding peace in the person you love, then that's not the right person. It's the biggest sign that you can ever get. If you're confused about someone you love, if you
Mm-hmm.
are in dilemma, if you are insecure about yourself, if you're doubting yourself, and then that person is not right. Because that person would never make you feel that way, ever.
No, no, definitely not. Of course, we're talking if the person like does some stuff, right? Because some people are self-manipulating as well. Like everything is perfect, and then you start kind of creating drama and like I don't feel that. But we
Right,
are now talking about relationships where actually there's something wrong in the behavior and treatment. So of course, yeah,
right,
yeah,
right, right. I
yeah. I
totally
feel
agree with you.
the
So, what do you think? What responsibilities do influencers have when discussing such sensitive topics on the platform like social media and Instagram?
I think it's a huge voice that we have, like the content creators, YouTubers, everyone who has a lot of people who listen to you and the audience. You have a voice, and you, in my opinion, a lot of people don't use it that well.
Right,
I
right,
think a lot of creators should spread the message, the values, and talk about problems, not only in society and relationships, but maybe also in politics. And of course, it's difficult because everyone has different meanings and in different topics, but you should choose it, you should use it, and especially for good things. We
right.
have a huge impact for sure, especially on the young generations, teenagers. They're like a little bit like, a little bit easier to impact for sure. Sorry for everyone who's a teenager now and listening to this podcast, but
I'm a teenager myself hosting the show. So, yeah. Okay.
it's just true. But
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, use it, but for the right things. Make
Right.
peace and love.
So true. That was so amazing. That was so amazing to talk to you. And coming to an end, what would you say to the audience out there? Anything that you would like to say about your handle or something like that out there? Any message or something? Anything?
If you have a dream, just do it. If you're stuck somewhere, don't give up. There's always always a way to go. And as we talked about the topic before, never say no to possibilities, and people just be open-minded and ask people for help. And you're not the only one out there in the world who struggles with all this. Yeah.
That's so true. And that's so lovely. Like, you're so sweet and talking about all this stuff so openly. I just love the conversation with you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Like, can you tell us what your experience today on the show? How was your experience today on the show? Mega Change. Let's dive to more unashamed conversations.
Oh yeah, it was so nice. It was a really nice talk. I enjoyed the podcast so much. Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure to be a voice and share my story as well. Yeah, and I hope everyone enjoys the podcast.
Thank you
Keep
so
following. It's a good podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. Like, it was a wonderful talk with you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Nice talking to you.